Uganda's Matters Day. Here I am going into the Uganda. It is my default. Matters Day is coming around the corner. Matters Day is the day we celebrate Uganda Matters of Uganda. And those in the Catholic faith around the world have come to know and always engage with the Uganda Matters. Here in America, North America, in the Midwest particularly, I am happy to be hosting the leaders from the Uganda Catholic community in Michigan, who I am going to ask to introduce themselves real quick, tell us a little bit about what they do in that community. And then we're going to want to hear about the upcoming celebrations, Matters Day celebrations. And I am aware that we are hosting Bishop Engurait from Thibodeau, home at Thibodeau, Louisiana, who happens to be the very first African to have been appointed bishop here in the USA. Welcome to my studio. Let me go with the lady first. Please reintroduce yourself to my viewers.
Good afternoon, everyone, or I should say good morning, because it's probably still morning in some areas. My name is Bernadette Kakoza, and I come here in the position of President Emeritus for the Ugandan Catholic Community of Michigan. I was honored to serve for the last 4 years as its president, or a 2-year term. That was re-elected since 2022 to 24 and then 24 to 26. And this year will be the first year that I am assisting the leadership, because I'm no longer on the leadership committee, but I'm still happy to assist in preparations of our upcoming Uganda Matters celebrations.
You passed on the baton. I like that. You know, in some spaces, it's very difficult to pass on.
Oh, yeah. I was happy to pass it on to someone who I consider a very great leader and to my right.
All right.
Welcome. I'm happy to have you, sir, here for the very first time in my studios. I'm very excited about it, actually. Welcome. Thank you for your leadership and for accepting the baton. Yes, please introduce yourself to my viewers, those who are seeing you for the first time.
Thank you, Mr. Chigundu. Greetings to you all, my brothers and sisters in Christ. My names are Henry Grace Mukasa. I'm the new president. I was the vice president, as the Martys said. I'm the new president of the Ugandan Matters, the Ugandan Catholic community here in Michigan. And I'm happy to be hosted in your studio. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. So, and let me use the opportunity again to remind my viewers a little bit about the Ugandan community of Michigan, the Catholic community in particular. Let me go back to the emeritus, who I assume has even deeper breadth about the community. Tell us a little bit about the community. How is it? How you guys organize over the years? I know that this is, I think, the third time you're hosting the bishop.
Right.
Not this bishop particularly, but hosting bishops from different parts of the world in Uganda and putting on this Matters Day event.
Right.
Which I think is commendable. So tell me a little bit about the community and how you've been able to organize yourselves to do these things, these events annually.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chigun. So our community actually has existed for almost 30 years. You know, that's something that most people don't realize. But
neither did I.
Right. But it's because we became legalized in 2022. And that's when, over the years, we've grown in strength and numbers. And we decided to have a formal organization created in 2022. But we've existed for a while. And the time we did that, that's when we started inviting bishops to come and help us celebrate our Ugandan Matters. We had always traditionally celebrated that as a community, just with our local priests, but not having a bishop. So the very first time we had a bishop was when we invited Archbishop Paulo Semogere from Uganda, Kampala Archdiocese. That was in 23. Then in 24, we had Bishop Jumba from Masaka Diocese. 25, we had Bishop Robert Muhira from Bunyoro. And now, this year, we're having the most important, gracious Bishop Simon Peter Engurait. And this is obviously very significant to us because he's the first African-born bishop to be ordained in the United States, mainland United States. So excited to have him.
Yeah, very excited. And I think a lot of people did not know about him and his service in Louisiana. I don't know how many Ugandans live in Louisiana, but I think when you think about Ugandans in North America,
Yes.
Louisiana is not top of the list. So for him to have been there and serving and rising through the ranks to become be appointed bishop,
Right.
it's quite intriguing. And like I would suspect that anybody else who's hearing about him for the first time will want to know a little bit about him. His background, perhaps, quick background, his journey. So let me go back to Mr. Kakoza to tell us a little bit. In my conversations with him, sounds like he's known him actually, I think maybe more than anybody else here in the United States.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Please tell us a little bit about the Bishop Engurait.
Thank you, Mr. Chigundu. Yeah, just a little history about Bishop Simon Peter Engurait, born in Ngola, Uganda Soroti Diocese. I would say the major schools that he went through. He was at Katigondo National Major Seminary. He was in Makerere University, where he did political science and public administration. Surprisingly, he worked with the government for 11 years.
That's one of those things that...
surprisingly, yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I met him at Christ the King. By then, he was in the group of the Charismatic Renewal, Christ the King. He was working with now the Archbishop of Kampala. By then, the Archbishop by then was the Vicar General of Christ the King and Kampala Diocese. And then in 2023, that is when he was ordained a priest. I was surprised when I heard that he's now a priest in Thibodeau, Louisiana. I was surprised. I was like, when did you,
that detour government and then
2013, yeah. 2013. And then remember he's a charismatic bishop. So way back in Uganda, he used to associate much in the charismatic groups. And then after being a priest, between 2013 and 2015, he was appointed associate pastor. And then 2017 to 2025, he was appointed administrator. All that happening in Louisiana, Thibodeau, He became Vicar General in 2023. And then 2025, around, should be September 25th, that's when he was ordained a bishop in Homer, Thibodeau, Louisiana. Like you said before, and Madam President Emeritus said it, the first African bishop ordained in North America. By the way, south of Sahara, I would say so.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. So we are privileged to have him here in Michigan. It's not only the Catholic community, by the way, but even other communities. The Arians are so happy knowing about his coming in Michigan. We have approached them and they are waiting to see him on that day. The Cameroonians doing the same. All Africans communities, we've tried to move around. So they are eagerly waiting to see him say Mass. Therefore, we are inviting everybody. That's the short history about
Bishop Engurait. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
please.
you. Well, yeah, he sounds like he has a real story to tell. He's experienced these different worlds in government, in private life, and then, back into this side. I'll be very interested to hear him tell a little bit more about what motivates his journey from the stint in government. How did he experience that, and what was his experience, and then back this way. So he's definitely a very interesting person, right? If we, to say the least, right?
Yes.
So, hearing that he was served under Archbishop Chwonoka, right? Semogerere.
Yes.
Semogerere.
Yeah.
And then knowing that
But then
Semogerere was the
but then he was the Vicar General of Kampala.
right.
And he was there, yeah.
Yeah, and knowing that the rich history of the Ugandan community of Michigan, when you decided to say, okay, let's go up there and look for external guests to celebrate Martys Day with us, you went and found the Archbishop, and now that the Bishop Engurait is coming to preside over, what does that mean to you guys, the leaders of the community? How does that make you feel?
I mean, it's very inspiring, but also empowering.
Yeah.
In a way that, in fact, someone said it the other time to us. Now you started from right at the top. Who are you going to get next? The Pope? Well, like, it's possible,
Always possible.
It's possible, when we decided to launch this and start inviting bishops, we started with the most powerful bishop to us in Uganda, which is Archbishop Semogerere. And now, having gotten the first, again, Ugandan-born bishop here in the U.S., we can only get higher or better,
Get better. Yeah.
Right, but at the same time, all men of clergy are important in their own ways. So it really doesn't give any rank to who we get next.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's know about the event itself. The date coming around the corner very soon, but please remind our viewers the date, the time, and where.
You want to go ahead?
You can go ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
So this year we're doing it kind of different from past years. We're having the celebration 2 days. And that was, again, a request of our bishop. So Saturday is the main mass that we have at 4 p.m. at Our Lady of Good Counsel, which is in Plymouth. For those who joined us in 2023, it's the same church that we had when we had Archbishop Semogerere here.
Okay, beautiful church.
Right. So that's where we'll have our 4 p.m. mass, and it will be followed by the grand reception from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Again, the reception venue is at the church in their huge social banquet hall, which they have downstairs in the church. We have tickets that we are selling right now for that, for the reception. Then the next day, Sunday, which is Blessed Trinity Sunday, we have a mass at 11 p.m. At 11 a.m., and it's at the cathedral, the main Detroit cathedral. And that is the cathedral itself is called Most Blessed Sacrament Cathedral in Detroit. And that is from 11 to 12, and we have light reception after the cathedral mass.
Okay. And I remember, because I was there when the Archbishop presided over. Beautiful experience, very enriching experience. The choir. The choir. I assume the choir is going to do it again.
And it is going to be really great this year. Yes.
Yeah. We're expecting people from Boston, expecting people from Canada. Back home we had what is called Christ the King choir. Different choir, but most of those singers, when you go to Boston, St. Mary's, you find most of them there. Coming, people from Chicago, the Catholic community from Chicago. We have some sisters and good friends of the Catholic community here. They are also coming. We know people are coming from Maryland, people are coming from everywhere, because the bishop is waiting to see, he wants to see I mean, meeting the Africans, the Ugandans, Northwest, Midwest.
Yeah, Midwest and beyond. Midwest
And
and beyond.
beyond. Right.
Yes.
So we are trying to make a big plan in the forthcoming years so that we can make it, I mean, bigger than this, make it general, make it more grand, so that, I mean,
it's a regional celebration.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, you know, we have to promote our own. The bishop is here. It's our own land. So
absolutely, we should
yes.
Yeah, we should be there and welcome him in grand way, right? In a grand way.
Yeah.
So, as I remember, after the mass in the luncheon, the dinner, right?
Right.
Is usually our traditional cultural ingredients, traditional
Exactly.
dances. I assume all of that is part of it this time again.
Yes, we have a lot stuff lined up for the reception. It's going to, we have plenty of food, all our traditional foods will be there.
Jollof rice.
Everything that you can think of, you know, our dinners have always amazed everybody, you know, and we have entertainment lined up as well, you know, performers will be there. So it's going to be great. Tickets are selling fast. So anyone that hasn't purchased your ticket yet, you may miss out.
You may miss out. That it is important. There's no just walking in. You buy ahead of time so that you don't miss a seat, right?
Right. We have the link at our website for ticket purchase. You know, you can
Ugandans of Michigan.org.
Michigan. Right.
Yeah. May 30th is the opening, and then followed by the Sunday. Now, why you say at the request of the bishop? Any particular has he indicated why he wants to meet the community again at the second day?
That's a good question. So Trinity is Sunday 31st is in the Catholic calendar. It's considered Trinity Sunday. So it was a significant day for him to celebrate Mass. But because we had him away from his diocese in Homer and he's spending the night here in Michigan, he felt it wouldn't make sense for him to leave early in the morning on Sunday and spend the day in flight traveling back to Louisiana instead of celebrating Mass again with his fellow Africans here. You know, I think you started off by saying you don't know how many Ugandans are in Louisiana. There are not so many because we were there when we went to witness his ordination, but there were not too many from his own state there. So coming here where he knows he has the opportunity to be with more Africans, he feels it will even be better for him to celebrate Trinity Sunday amongst the many Africans here. So it was his request that we could have the Mass the next day, again, with the Africans that are able to attend. We have some that may not be able to attend on the 30th, but they have the opportunity to join us on the 31st and attend Mass with him again. And that Mass is later in the morning so that, you know, if people are traveling, they have time to travel here and be here in time for the 11 a.m. Mass.
And I guess to add on what Madame Emeritus she's talking about, he's a bishop. He has to say Mass on Sunday. So the bishop he has to say Mass on Sunday. That is one. Secondly, you'll be meeting his fellow bishop in Detroit, the Bishop of Detroit. That's where he's going to be residing. So there's no way as a bishop you could miss a Sunday.
A Sunday.
Sunday. And you know, we even have many Catholics down there in Detroit, the Africans down there in Detroit. You want to see these groups? You remember we even have a church called St. Charles Ruanga in Detroit.
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There's a whole St. Charles Ruanga.
In fact, there used to be a Martys of Uganda church, but they closed it down, but they still have a St. Charles Ruanga church.
Yes.
So the African community there, you know, is very excited to be part of this as well.
Yeah.
You see the Ugandan matters. Yeah, we are international. Wow. Yeah, it makes me feel very proud. Anyway, Thank you very much. I think we now know when, where, what to expect, and all of that. And I suspect you may have any closing message, any appeal, any special appeal to any community, anybody, to encourage them, invite them. This is the opportunity to do so.
Can I go first?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think it's very important that our Africans in general recognize the significance of this Martys Day. It's not just any normal Martys Day, but we will be celebrating this with our own first African-born bishop in the US, the mainland US. So this again is going out to not just Ugandans, but to all our Africans in general and others who are not even Africans, but support the Africans, Please come. Please come and join us May 30th or May 31st or both. But please come and join us. There's more information about this on our website, UgandaCatholicsMichigan.org. But we are very excited to have you and to be with us as we celebrate with our own Bishop Simon Peter.
Yes. And the Ugandan martyrs are the seed of our faith. The first Africans on the continent of Africa, they were the Ugandan martyrs, to be persecuted, killed because of their faith. So they are the seed of our faith. As Africans, we are proud of that. The bishop also himself is proud of that. He talks about the Ugandan martyrs like he can't forget where he came from. He can't forget where he came from. And surprisingly, after our mass, you never know, he might go and visit back home to say thank you to the Ugandan martyrs, because the next Sunday after 3rd June, that's when we will celebrate Ugandan Martyrs Day back home.
Back in Uganda, yes.
Yes. The Nigerians here, the Cameroonians, and other Catholic communities are so excited. They want to see the liturgy. They want to see this type, the different type of liturgy, which they've been seeing on YouTube and things like that, but now they're going to see it physically. They are even going to see the bishop himself physically from Uganda.
Yeah.
So excited. Yeah. We thank God for that. We're excited. We even thank you so much for all that you do for the Ugandan Catholic community.
Yes.
You are so great. May God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think I got everything else. So kujako waliya in akataleke, as we say in Uganda, but I think I got what I needed. Yeah. And so other than that, I thank you very much for your service, again, for everything that you do in our local Catholic community here. The motto, I think, goes like that the love of Christ compels us. And I like to translate. I actually one time asked the Sabbath Christ to translate it for me. Try, because many times I like to put things in my Uganda. So he says to okwagala kwa Kristu kwe kutuujja.
Exactly. What I was going to say. Okwagala kwa Kristu kutuujja.
Kutuujja.
Continuous. Okwagala kwa Kristu kutuujja.
Yeah.
So what compels you to do this for 30 years plus and going?
Kwagala kwa Kristu.
Yes.
Okay. That's fair enough. And that's we can't. There's no better way to put it, right? It's still kwagala kwa Kristu kutuujja mukama yebazi. Thank you very much, and thanks be to Jesus Christ for having died for us and for compelling us and compelling you and everybody else to keep doing good in this world and hope to make it better and better every day. Thank you very much for joining me. Please say hello to the people of Michigan. I know we've had a lot of some bad news in the community here in Chicago. Some for the last 2 to 3 weeks, there's been some deaths. And I was made aware that yesterday you had a service. Mulangira Mutebi lost a mother to his child, right? So please, my condolences, and may God comfort the family and the community at large.
Thank you.
Amina. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Kale.